morning, dear children. Before we begin, let us quickly recap what we read in the chapter till now. We read about a lazy camel who lived in the middle of a barren desert, who wasn't ready to trot like the horse, fetch and carry like the dog, and plow like the ox. So he would spend his time sitting idle, eating shrubs and plants of the desert. Because of his selfish behavior, the three animals in the story had to work double time for the man. And so they became angry and called for a meeting. Even then, the camel wasn't bothered and walked away laughing at them. Let us read further and see what happened next.
Soon the jinn, who was in charge of all deserts, came rolling in a cloud of dust. Jinns always travel that way because it is magic. He stopped at the meeting of the horse and the dog and the ox. Jinn of all deserts, said the horse, is it right for anyone to be idle while the rest of us are working so hard? There is so much to do with the world so new and all. Certainly not, said the jinn. Well, said the horse, there's a thing in the middle of your howling desert, and he is a howler himself, with a long neck and long legs, and he hasn't done a bit of work since Monday morning. He won't trot. Oh my, said the jinn, whistling. That's my camel. What does he say about it? He says, hump, said the dog, and he won't fetch and carry. Does he say anything else? Only hump, said the ox. He won't plow. Very good, said the jinn. I will hump him if you will kindly wait just a minute. So, a new character has been introduced in the story. That is the jinn, who was said to be the in charge of the deserts. He used to travel rolling in the clouds of dust. So jinn is a fictitious character who has magical powers. As he stopped at the meeting, the horse came forward and asked if it was justified for the camel to remain idle and do no work while the others were working hard. So when the jinn disagreed to it, the horse told him about the camel who hadn't done any work since Monday. On this, the jinn asked, what does the camel say instead? The animals answered that the camel only says hump and doesn't bother to do anything else. He doesn't fetch and carry or plow. So the jinn decided to handle the camel in his own way, but only if the other animals cooperated and waited for a while. Let us read further. The jinn rolled himself up in his dust cloak and took off across the desert. He found the camel doing nothing but looking at his own reflection in a pool of water. My long and bubbling friend, said the jinn, what's this I hear of you doing no work? Hump, said the camel. The jinn sat down with his chin in his hand and began to think, while the camel looked at his own reflection in the pool of water. You have given the horse and the dog and the ox extra work ever since Monday morning because you are so lazy, said the Jinn. Hump, said the camel. I shouldn't say that again if I were you, said the Jinn. You might say it once too often. Bubbles, I want you to work. The Jinn, what he did? He quickly rolled himself up in his dust cloak and reached the camel within no time and saw him looking at his reflection in water. When the Jinn asked him the reason for not showing any interest in work, he again said, hump, and looked at his own reflection in water. When the Jinn said that the other animals had to do extra work just because of him, he would answer, hump. At this, the Jinn warned him and said that he would not say if even once more had he been in the place of the camel, and instead would work. But still the camel said the same. Let's read further. And the camel said, hump, again. But no sooner had he said it, that he saw his back, that he was so proud of, puffing up into a great huge hump. Do you see that? Said the Jinn. That's your very own hump that you have brought upon your very own self by not working. Today is Thursday and you have done no work since Monday when the work began. Now you are going to work. How can I work? Said the camel, with his hump on my back. That's the reason for the hump on your back, said the Jinn. You did not work for 3 days. Now you will be able to work for 3 days without eating because you can live on your hump. Don't you ever say, I never did anything for you. Come out of the desert and begin to do your share of the work. And the camel humped himself, hump and all, and went away to join the three. And from that day to this, the camel always wears a hump. We call it hump now, not to hurt his feelings. But he has never yet caught up with the 3 days that he missed at the beginning of the world. And he has never yet learned how to behave. So, what happened? As soon as he uttered the word hump, his back started puffing up, and finally he got a hump on his back. So, the Jinn said that it was the camel who himself asked for the hump several times. And so he finally got it. Now the camel complained that it wouldn't be possible for him to work due to the hump on his back. But he had no excuse. In fact, the Jinn said that the hump would help him to be able to work for 3 days without food and water. So now the camel had to join the other 3 animals in the work with the hump on his back. But do you think there was any change in the camel's behavior? No. He was still the same. But now he had to work and he couldn't escape from it. So that's the story, children. Today you have given few more short questions based on the part we have read. So read the chapter once again and answer them in the homework section of your literature notebook. Thank you.